Okay, now that we know a little bit about transversals, we're going to do 3 examples. So the first step in solving transversals is always to decide what type of angles you have. So let's look at number 1. So we have 2 angles here. So we want to decide if they are acute or obtuse. So this first angle here, 12x plus 3, that one is acute, because it is less than 90 degrees. The other angle that we have is 11x plus 9, and that one is also acute. So since they are both the same angles, so they're both acute, so anytime they are the same, they're going to equal each other. So they are the same, and it's going to be acute equals acute. Now we just plug in our expressions. So 12x plus 3 equals 11x plus 9. Now we just solve like a regular equation that we've been practicing. So first, I'm going to label my variable side. It's going to be the left side, since 12x is bigger than 11x. And then I have the number side. So first, I want to bring this 11x over to the variable side. So right now it's a positive, so the opposite is going to be to subtract 11x on both sides. These are going to cancel. I'm going to bring down the plus 9. I'm going to bring down the plus 3. And 12 minus 11x is just 1x. Now I want to move the number over to the number side. So I'm going to do the opposite, which is to subtract 3 on both sides. My 3's are going to cancel. I'm going to bring down my x, and 9 minus 3 is 6. So x equals 6. Number 2, again, the first step is to decide what type of angles we have. So let's look at the first one. The first one is obtuse. And the second one is also obtuse. So they are both obtuse, which means they are the same. So I do the same thing as I did up here. Both acute, set them equal to each other. Both obtuse, they're the same. So I set them equal to each other. So obtuse equals obtuse. Now I plug in my expression. So I have 7x plus 10. 7x plus 10 equals 9x minus 16. Now I solve like normal. First, I have to label my variable side, which is going to be the right side because 9x is bigger, and the left side is my number side. So I want my 7x, my variable, to go over to the variable side. Right now it's positive, so I'm going to subtract 7x on both sides. My 7's cancel. I'm going to bring down my plus 10. 9 minus 7 is 2x. I'm going to bring down my minus 16. Now I have all of my variables underneath the variable side. I want my number to go over to the number side. So I'm going to add 16 on both sides. My 16 canceled. I'm going to bring down the 2x. 10 plus 16 is 26. And then I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides, since 2 is next to the variable. My 2's I can cross off because that equals 1. And I'm left with x equals 26 divided by 2, which is 13. So x equals 13. Let's move to number 3. It's a little bit different. So again, the same rules apply. First step, I want to figure out if my angles are the same or different. So my first angle is acute because it is less than 90 degrees. My second angle is obtuse. So now I have different angles. Since they are different sizes, they cannot equal each other. They are different. They are not the same. So I have obtuse and an acute. When you have two different angles, one obtuse and one acute, they're always going to add up to 180. They will not equal each other because they're not the same. So now I'm just going to plug in. So 3x plus 82, 3x plus 82, bring down my plus sign, and my acute is 5x plus 58 equals 180. So this one is a little bit different. So since I have multiple x's on one side, I'm going to combine like terms. So I'm going to combine things that look the same. So I have a 3x and I have a 5x. Make sure you always take the sign that's in front so you know whether to add or subtract. So I have a positive 3x and a positive 5x, which is going to be 8x. I cannot combine 3x and 82 because 82 does not have a variable. So now I can cross off my variable numbers. And now I can combine my numbers without variables. So I have 82 and a positive 58. So since they're both positive, I'm going to add, and I'm going to get a positive 140. I'm going to bring down the 180. Now it looks just like a regular equation. The left side is going to be my variable side since I only have variables on the left side. There aren't any on the right side. And my right side is going to be my number side. So now I want my number to go over to the number side. So I'm going to do the opposite of a positive 140, which is to subtract 140 on both sides. My 140s will cancel. I can bring down the 8x. 180 minus 140 is 40. And then I'm going to divide by 8 on both sides. I can cross off my 8s because that will equal 1. And I'm left with x equals 40 divided by 8 is 5. So x equals 5 for this problem. So remember, there are only 3 different options of how you can solve transversals. The first one is acute equals acute. So if they're both acute, you set them equal to each other. The second one is if they are both obtuse, then they are the same and they will equal each other. So these two are very similar. So they can either equal each other. So let's see. Equal each other. Or obtuse plus acute equals 180. So they can either equal each other or they can add up to 180.